Marketing Decoded, a podcast presented by Davis Marketing Company. I am Rachel, and I'm an account manager here.
And I'm Bailey, COO. And today we're going to talk about community involvement.
Nice.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about community involvement, some different ways that you can get involved, why it's important, how we kind of go about that. What does community involvement mean to you?
I think it means so many different things. Community involvement could mean a business being involved in a community. I think it also means an individual being involved in a community. You can do that in so many different ways, like participating in sponsorships, volunteering, just showing up to an event.
Yeah.
Like, I know we had an event recently where people could just show up and eat.
Yeah.
And just hang out and make connections. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're doing the hard work, but you're just in the community every day. Once a month, business after hours. We talk about that during those. But yeah, just you can do that as a business or you can do that as an individual.
Yeah. So pretty much from Davis Marketing's inception, community involvement has been super, super important to us. And it's something that we still try to do today. Me and Rachel personally are involved in some civic organizations. I guess yours is the same.
Involved.
Yeah, we try to get involved. Like, I'm a part of the Statesboro JCs, which is a civic organization. You're a part of United Way.
Yep.
So those are both volunteering, kind of nonprofit ways to get involved. It also involves networking, which we had a whole separate podcast about networking, so you can go check that out. But I think it's important to have community involvement as not just an individual, but as a business, because it kind of, when you're involved in the community, you know how to serve your community better. What does your community need?
Yeah.
Especially as marketers, you need to know what people need in order to market a business effectively.
Right. That even reminds me of our goal as Davis Marketing. We always talk about how can we change people's lives, especially working in a community that's local. Like, we want to support local businesses. How can we help change their lives? And we have no idea if we're not involved in our community as a business. So.
That's right. So some of the ways that we kind of talked about, you kind of touched on earlier about how to get involved. There's so many different ways to do it. I think one really low commitment way of doing it is just sponsoring an event. Whether it's an event that is just going on in Statesboro, something that involves nonprofit, anything like that. If you it's sports, sports teams. And just, if you don't have the time to commit to going and doing something, give some money to it.
Yeah. I think a prime example of that, like, I think a lot of banks would be a prime example of sponsoring events. They're working the 9 to 5, and some events are taking time, like, they're taking place during that time. Yeah. But they have the funds to be able to support athletics, nonprofits, all of these different types of events happening. Yeah. And it's good brand awareness as well. It's building trust and credibility, which is exactly what a bank wants to do. Yeah. You want your people to trust you. And it shows that you want more than just a transaction. You want to give back.
Yeah. So. And I think that's super important to small local businesses, small town businesses to get involved, because, I mean, there's not that much going on around here. Like, there's, you can give to as many things as you want, but people knowing who you are is super important. Again, going back to the networking, it's not all about what you know, it's who you know. Right. And you want to appeal to those customers that you want. So another thing to keep in mind when you're doing either a sponsorship or volunteering or anything like that, getting involved in the community, does it align with your core values? You want something to resonate with your clients, your employees. You don't want to just do something just to do something. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's nice if you want to give to something random that needs money, but you want it to align with your core values, maybe what you do specifically. For example, we have something locally called the She Women's Expo, which is basically they bring the community together to do a day of education, inspiration, and fun. And so we always recommend that our OBGYNs get involved because that aligns with what their business is.
We talk about brand consistency.
Exactly.
Even like in your what you post, what you put on your website, even what you get involved in is so important to get involved in something that aligns with your brand.
Absolutely. And I think there's so many different ways to do sponsorship specifically. I thought you wanted to touch on that. So
yeah. So if you can't give a lot, like this big organization has unlimited funds that they can just throw, even a local business, there's so many different levels of sponsorships that you can give where it's $50. I know there's sponsorships that ranges from $50 to $50,000. Whatever you can do, it's about giving back, not about how much you can give.
Absolutely. And as like a numbers gal, you kind of have to, I would always suggest at the beginning of the year to like look at how much you want to give. And if you want to be the presenting sponsor of one big event in the community, then be the presenting sponsor. Put all your funds towards that event. Or if you want to spread it out and you want to give to 7 different events, you can do that too. And I think another kind of cheat code way of being a sponsor is doing an in-kind sponsorship. So if your business is able, like we do this all the time, we do donate t-shirts. We donate koozies. So it's not actual money that we have to, write a check for, but it's something tangible. And I almost like that better because like you can put your name on it. And it's something that people can hold on to and keep. I always like that.
They can use it.
Yeah, exactly. Another way that is not super high commitment, but it's getting a little bit more work in there is just volunteering every once in a while. Is there anything specific to you that you have liked doing volunteering wise?
Well, I like to volunteer whenever I have the time.
Right, yeah, it's hard.
Life is busy sometimes.
It's hard.
But going back to United Way, that's a volunteer position. We just had an event, Tasting States Row. I actually was sick and I wasn't able to go. We actually called volunteers. We needed volunteers to help that event function. It was over 500 people. You have to make it organized with volunteers, and I mean that's just a prime example.
Yeah. And I think you could even as a business host an event. That's another way to get involved in the community. And I would always say, and this is probably coming from my JC's background, is like with Tasting Statesboro specifically, is I volunteered for that event when I was in college because
appreciate your business for your time.
Absolutely. And you know how they pulled me in?
Huh.
You get a free ticket inside.
Right.
You get to eat, and that's like a good pull is like giving incentives for people to come and volunteer at your event or, finding those things. If say your employees are like, I'm not getting out there and doing that. I got too much to do. Find something that has an incentive for them.
And it's not like you're volunteering just for the heck of it. You're volunteering with a purpose.
Right.
Like, I know they raised money for the Hearts and Hands Clinic. The button that's given back that has blown up recently in our schools, and it's just been really helpful. So you're volunteering with a purpose. It's not meaningless.
Absolutely,
which is super important.
And I think that's what's cool is both of our organizations that we're involved in we don't have one particular thing that we're committed to.
Right.
It can be several different things. And again, that goes back to finding the thing that means the most to you, but making that connection with whatever your personal brand or your business's brand. Something that we do as an incentive for our employees is we will actually pay for our full-time employees to be a part of a civic organization. So if there's dues associated with that organization, then we'll pay for the year. And I think that's great for businesses to, if again, you have employees that are like, I don't have the time, or I don't know what I want to do. I think given that little extra push of like, hey, we will help you do this so you can get out there and see what's going on.
And allowing your employees to build that trust and credibility for your business, for your brand, you're going to bring more people to your business.
Absolutely. And that is a little bit higher commitment, like getting your people to commit and join a leadership group. But I think, again, there's ways to incentivize people to do it. Maybe the more you have like a point system, I don't know. There's probably a lot of creative ways, to do it. No, and I think all of those things, they're great marketing opportunities. Anytime that you get involved, you have become committed to a leadership group, a civic organization. Maybe you even get involved and you see that, I want to be in a leadership position in this organization. Yeah. So it's a really, really great marketing tool to get involved in this kind of stuff. And again, networking is amazing. When you get involved in the community, that's easy networking. Absolutely. You don't have to find something in particular. You just get out there and say, hey, I'm from Davis Marketing. What do you do? You know?
I think it's also, this is a little bit off topic, but as a new business, it is so important. If you want your business to grow, if no one knows you yet, you want your business to grow, you want to get in the community, it's important to be in it at all different levels.
Absolutely. And I think if you show that you care about the community is going to care about you.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And that's super important. If no shade to chain restaurants or anything like that, but sometimes when chains come and it's, not a local franchise owner, it's kind of hard to get to know those people and say like, oh, I don't know, what are you doing here to support us? I mean, businesses that support people support that business.
Right. And like you said, chain businesses, I've seen so many businesses, I'm sure you have too, come in and they have not succeeded because, one, they didn't have a local owner who was involved in the community. Yeah. And two, I've seen local businesses not survive because they weren't in the community. So it's important.
And I think it's also important as a consumer to support local because those are the people that are giving back.
Right.
Those are the people that are sponsoring your kids' t-ball team. Those are the people that are showing up that, when you need help. So yeah, it's all of it's a give and take. All that community involvement is a give and take for sure. And I feel like it's always going to be important. Like, this is not something that's a trend. It's always going to be in style to do this. So
never going out of style.
Yeah. And there's so many different options. There's so many different ways to do it. So many different ways to get involved. And there's really no excuse not to do it.
Yeah.
And you don't need a marketing team to help you do that. You just got to make some time for it and get out there and just
make a budget.
Yeah.
If that's something that you want to do, I love that you mentioned that earlier. Plan ahead. Marketing is all about planning ahead, having conversations, getting involved. But if you can plan ahead and say, I want to put this amount of money, this is what my business can do. It might not be a lot.
Right.
It may just be a little, but plan ahead and spread it out.
Yes.
If you go in with a plan, you're not going to feel overwhelmed and bombarded with all of these requests. But there is unlimited ways to get involved in Statesboro with Georgia Southern, with local sports teams, T-ball, like you said, and all of the nonprofits that are here to help with domestic abuse and with children and all kinds of things.
Yeah.
I could name it all.
Oh my gosh, there's so many. And we say it's kind of silly, like, how does marketing change people's lives? But it's really fun to go like in a staff meeting and go back and be like, oh, we did change this person's life. We did like affect them in a positive way. Right. And it's awesome to know like, oh, we did this in the community and we helped this person in this way. Yeah. And I love it. It's great. I think, you go out there, you conquer the world,
Conquer the world.
Conquer the world.
Davis Marketing Company.
We're doing it. We're doing it.
One business at a time.
Absolutely. All right. So I guess that is all for us today. A huge part of this, the community involvement, is also networking, which we did a whole nother podcast, which we will link. So you can go and watch that and get a little bit more in depth on the community involvement, networking side of things. But thank you for coming. Leave us any questions, comments, concerns. But yeah, that's all. Thanks, Rachel.
Yeah, thanks.
All right.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.